podcastjuice.net.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Prince Podcast here on Podcast Juice. My name is Michael Dean. Listen, we got a live one for you today. We got an individual, we got a man on here that y'all ain't heard from in years. One of these cats that you've seen in the heyday doing his thing, but he's kind of been away from the game in terms of out there talking, and we know there's a lot of people talking right now. There's a lot of stuff out there in the mix. But we wanted to get to the true blue people that was really there when it was popping off, and we don't want to speculate about, oh, this is what was popping. No, we want to get the real people so we can hear straight out of their mouth what was going on. So without further ado, let me set it this way. There was a song that just dropped out. Y'all bootleggers dropped out a song people been speculating about. They ain't never heard it. Now it done came out. The song's called Wally. So instead of us sitting here, my whole thing is I don't like to be like speculating like, oh man, what was this? What was going on with Wally? Let's get Wally, right? So without further ado, Mr. Wally Safford, sir, how you doing?
Brother, I'm blessed. I woke up this morning.
All right, say that. Man.
I woke up this morning, brother. I'm R&B, real black. I woke up this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So I want to.
How you doing, Brother Dean?
Man, I'm blessed. It's actually it's Sunday. I got my family. We're chilling. Listen,
that's right.
This is a blessing right here. Before we get started, I just want to make sure that it's conveyed to you and that the listeners can hear that we appreciate you spending some time with us today, because you don't have to do this. You got your own things going on. So we just want to make sure that we want you to know we value you and what you can share with us and just your time, man, and the work that you done put in with Prince. And we'll find out even more, other people that you've worked with and stuff.
Absolutely.
So, man, let's jump into things. People that listen to this show are hardcore Prince fans, so they already know, like, we know what we've seen. We saw you with the Revolution, starting with like the parade and all that stuff and the tours.
Yes, sir.
You, Jerome, and what's my man?
Greg
Brooks. Y'all was doing your thing. We saw so we saw you from that, and we know that, okay, he's a part of the Prince thing. But as I didn't know, because we talked a little earlier, and as you hopefully can shed some light, it goes way deeper than that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Way deeper. So, man, let's start at this point. Everyone's talking about this song, Wally. That's got your name in it. Are you aware of all of the controversy and the speculation and talk about the song?
No, sir.
He said no.
That was new to me too.
Okay.
I y'all ain't heard from me in 30-something years. I was shocked just like y'all was shocked. I was like, I was shocked like y'all was. I'm like, wow, controversy. That's what my brother lives for.
Right. And because I want to.
That's what he did.
I want to address this before we go back, because I know some people want to hear about this. Do you even remember the song?
Yeah, I remember the song. I remember the conversation.
What was for what you can say, like, what sparked Prince even doing that song?
Well, first of all, I was Prince's bodyguard assistant / hype man. I was like my man like my man was to Muhammad Ali, Drew Bodini Brown. I was like that to Prince, but I just wasn't out. Like Flavor Flav is to Chuck D, Public Enemy.
Okay.
I wasn't out on the stage on the mic. I was on the side of the stage with the mic. Then I came out on the stage.
Wow. So let's go back to that then. Like you say, you started out as sort of like the bodyguard, but even before that, what was your relationship with music? Like, what were you already involved in music? Now, I know some of the answer to this, but I want if you can explain, like, before Prince.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Oh, I was doing security for, I started out in 75, 76, the Commodores, with Lionel Richie, and it was a controversy thing with Lionel Richie. Because I used to say at Lionel's concert when they was playing at the stadium, I said, Lionel about to leave the Commodore. They told me something. Nah. I said, is Lionel Richie in the Commodore? They said, no. I said, watch. And said, so Lionel, when he left the Commodores, it was Lionel Richie.
Right.
And see, like I said, stars always shine above. They always stand out. Like Prince. He was one of a kind. That was my man, like $100,000. Make no mistake about it. Off the entertainment, never duplicated. That was him. I was his hype man for real. I was his hype man and his assistant. I was his friend, confidant, personal assistant / backup singer, bodyguard, whoever. Whatever role he needed me to play, I was there. Yes, what you call it. You in the trenches.
In the trenches.
Yes, sir. You in the trenches. Hours and hours in the studio with him doing recordings. It's just a true blessing.
Wow.
Amazing, brother. Truly amazing.
Yeah, man. I want to get into that, but just to be clear, so you was doing some stuff with the Commodores on the road. Now, were you?
Yeah, I was with my brother-in-law, Billy Sparks.
Okay.
My brother, Billy Sparks.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you was working with Billy. Now, for a lot of people, they just know Billy Sparks from the movie Purple Rain, but can you just tell, what was Billy's really like? He was a tour promoter, or what was Billy really known for, though, before that movie?
He was the club owner in the movie. Mm-hmm. And you talking about Purple Rain?
Yeah. A lot of us know him from that. But but Billy has a history before Purple Rain. Like, how do you know Billy back in the day?
Oh, we grew up in the Nation of Islam together.
Say that. Wow.
Yeah, Nation of Islam. One love, one brother, one cause.
Okay.
'Cause like I said, I'm R&B. I'm real black, true black.
Now you say you're from the Nation. Now you are from Detroit. Is that right?
That's what the Nation of Islam started.
Right.
Back on Hastings Street, the first mosque. Elijah Muhammad and his brother John Muhammad. My mother and her mother used to iron their shirts when they lived in Hamtramck.
Wow.
They were kids. They were growing up. Elijah Muhammad. And John, and see, my family grew up with it. Elijah Muhammad's family and Malcolm X's family. So we still talk to tell this day. The siblings and the offspring.
Okay.
Malcolm family. They lived in East Lansing, so we used to go visit their family when we were kids. And I just see Malcolm. I just called him Uncle Big Red. I didn't call him Malcolm X because that was Uncle Big Red.
Wow.
So his brother Filbert. Mm-hmm. And his wife Henrietta, and my mom was best friends. That foundation was always there. Because I told Prince there was only two great ones. It was Ali, then it was Wally. Because he was fascinated from Muhammad Ali. If y'all see those pictures,
right? He
was fascinated with Ali, and Ali was like, come up in the Nation of Islam. Ali, in the '60s. Drew Bodini Brown, he was Ali's hype man. And see, Prince used to say that all the time, that, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble, young man rumble. He used to say that all the time.
See, now that puts some context, because I remember seeing a performance where he does that.
We said that we said that quite a bit. And see, a lot of people then wrote stories about Prince and books, but they didn't know the real Prince. He only show you what he wants you to know. Like I said, me and that brother, we was thicker than thieves. We was tight like Ike. I'm just saying, that was my man like $100,000. Make no mistake, Brother D. That was my man like $100,000.
I feel you.
He was a modern day Mozart.
Yes, sir.
He was a modern day Mozart, and I used to tease him all the time. I said, man, I got to search you for a hit because I know you got a hit somewhere in your pocket. I got to fish you. I got to pat your pockets down because you got a hit. And he would just crack up. He was just hilarious. He just fall out. He'd bust out laughing.
So let me ask you this. Going back to the Nation, and you talk about Muhammad and Prince's love for Muhammad. Would you guys would he sort of ask you questions about, man, what was it like, being in the Nation and around Malcolm and Elijah and Muhammad Ali and things like that?
He was more so curious.
Okay.
Yeah, he was more so curious, but he respected that. The Nation of Islam. That's why he had us around so long. You know, my brother Billy, Noor Muhammad, Abdul Muhammad, Mitchell James. You know, all of them. You know, we was his Purple Gang. Because, you know, when we was with Prince when he first opened up for Rick James.
Okay.
You know, and he labeled us as the Purple Gang because that's where the Purple Gang was. It was out of Detroit.
Wow. Okay.
You know, they call us the Purple Gang.
Now, so you was around then, when Vanity was in the picture and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Now,
that's Sister Denise.
So I want you to talk that talk. Like, I know weren't you, we was working for Vanity, or were you assigned to Vanity or something like that? Explain a little bit of that.
Well, it started out, I was signed to Morris Day.
Morris, okay.
You know, Mr. Cool himself, chili sauce, Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Vanity went to Holland at Prince. You know, we want Wally. You know, we want him. We want him for our security. So I end up being her security, you know, her, Susan, and Brenda, you know, doing security for her. And then, like, Prince was like, well, wait a minute, what the heck is going on? Why everybody want Wally? You know, he was like, wait a minute, why everybody tugging on him? He said, wait a minute, let me put him close to me now. You know, that's how it all started.
Now, did he have, what's the Big Chick? Was he in the game at this point, too, or? No. Prince had quite a few security that didn't make the cut. Okay.
They didn't make the cut, you know. He had quite a few security that didn't make the cut.
Now,
you know, everything is... Huh?
No, go ahead. My bad.
I'm just saying, you know, see what it is with life, Brother Dean, everybody's personality don't fit with everybody's personality. That unbalance, you know, the nature of unbalance. Okay. Everybody don't fit with everybody's personality, you know, because, you know, people have, everybody's different. You know, the world, everybody's different. Now, but, you know, I totally got it with him, you know, with the music, everything.
Wow. So this is early on, like this is 1999.
79, because, you know, I was with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
When we met Prince. That's how it all started. Well, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire's management was Prince's management.
Right.
Was Cavallo, Ruffalo, and Fagnoli. So, you know, it all tied in, you know, and, you know, because at that time, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, they was a well-oiled machine. You know, they was dropping them. Mm-hmm. You know, I was on all of their tours, and, you know, Maurice and them and Verdine, you know, I really admired them because they were, I don't know, I idolized Earth, Wind, and Fire because they was so professional, you know, the astrology, you know, all of that, you know, them brothers was like, they was like the Nation of Islam too. It was like, I'm like, wow, these brothers is deep. You know, I just sitting watching them, you know, they were my true idols right there, Earth, Wind, and Fire, because the song Maurice and Stephanie was putting out at the time, you know, they had the Emotions, Denise Williams. They had the group, The Pockets.
Right.
You know, they had the group Pockets, you know. And it was a well-oiled machine. They was like, hey, you know, Denise Williams, you know, after Minnie Riperton died, I just cried, and along come Denise, you know, closest thing to her.
Mm-hmm. She had that cut Free. I remember that one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And God is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, so you know some black music, and you've been around.
Brother, that's what I do. I'm a historian of music.
Okay.
I'm a historian of it, you know. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
So you coming from Earth, Wind, and Fire, Commodores. I know there's some other ones.
Wait a minute. I left Teddy Pendergrass out. You know, Luther Vandross. You know, the Crusaders, Gene Carn, Dexter Wanzel, Billy Paul, the Philadelphia Sound, Solar Music, Dick Griffey, you know, with Lakeside and Shalimar and the Whispers, you know, that tour. I mean, you know, it was just back-to-back touring, you know.
Wow.
You know, I mean, and I was young. I was 16. The youngest of 14. You know, so all of my siblings were older and they were gone. So I just had a life of Raleigh. You know, I was just out there. I was just in the entertainment world at 16. You know, you grow up real quick. You know, you grow up real quick because you introduced to life, basically.
Right.
You introduced to the way of life, you know. And, you know, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I'll be like Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. You know, then they got with Prince, man, and then it was like, man, it was like, wow. You know, I mean, just watching that brother in the studio just do music itself or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, me and Dr. Susan Rogers catalog a lot of hours in the studio with this guy.
Wow. So you was in the studio with Prince just like as one of his boys, just being in there and just vibing off?
No, I was his assistant. I was his bodyguard assistant.
Okay.
And personal confidant, all of that. I was everything, all of that.
So let me let's jump into the particular periods, if you don't mind. Like of course, Purple Rain. That was a huge moment. You know,
I couldn't remember. You know, I couldn't remember that, Brother Dean, from Purple Rain to 1999 because they were so close together. I used to get confused.
Well, let me ask you this: going into so you were around? I guess you were there on the 1999 tour, correct?
Yes, sir. I was on all his tours.
So let me ask you about that because we always hear about Prince and the Time, and you know, a little friction there or a competition going on. I mean, was that a real thing that you remember? You know, with the Time and Prince.
Well, the Time was a well-oiled machine too. You know, it's like the genie got out of the bottle. You couldn't put the top back on it because they were their own individuals as well. You know, they so multi-talented. You know, it was like he couldn't control that. You know, that's just God. You know, you can't. People blessed. You know, just let them do it. Let them do it. Let them be free. Let them do it. Let them do what they do.
Okay. Was you around for? I remember I heard there was some kind of like food fight or something like that. That was good.
Oh, yeah, that was in Cincinnati. Yeah, that tour, yeah. I think that was the 1999 tour?
It was 1999,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Like I said, it was so many tours, I couldn't remember leading up to that. You know, I mean, the Dirty Mind tour, Controversy, all of that, you know. It was like back to back to back.
Wow.
You know, so, yeah. It wasn't really a food fight. Well, I guess everything, whatever somebody getting their hand to throw, I guess. You know, water gun, they had everything.
Oh, okay. What do you remember between Prince and Rick James? You know, he was on the road with him.
Oh, it was a little competition. You know, competition thing. You know, Prince was making Rick work hard. You know, when he came on stage, you know, the crowd. You know, like a day old beer goes flat, right? So the crowd, like the steam was let out of them, you know. And see, you know, life coming full circle, right? And see, that's what the Time was doing to Prince, the exact same thing. You know, they let the air out his sail. You know, when he got on stage, shit. I mean, that song, Less Work. I mean, he was dead serious, less work. You know, he was dead on it. You know, less work. You know, I'm like, man, you know, the Time was like, man, you know, he didn't realize how big they were going to be, man. They were, the Time, the minute I heard the first album, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it. That's on and popping. They on and popping. Because, you know, that was right around the era when you had that new wave and all of that coming in, too, you know. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, more than the Time, it was like, damn, you know, they're my brothers for life, you know. We family for life.
Okay.
You know that, like I said, the whole Prince entourage, you know, family, you know. So it was like, man, they were something else. You know, the Time, you know, more of them had Prince working just like Rick. Prince had Rick working, you know.
All right. Well, do you remember? You guys were. I'm fascinated because I was way too young to have seen any of this at that time. But you guys was doing shows with like Roger Troutman and them too. Like
Absolutely, that was my man from Dayton. Well, you know, that was the Dayton connection.
Right.
You know, you got Roger, but you know that wasn't my first inner thing with Zap and them. Roger, I had a thing with Lakeside. Okay. The Ohio players, Bootsy. You know, Bootsy came up in because, you know, I used to work for George Clinton and them, too.
What?
You know, Bootsy came. You know, that's what I'm saying, brother. I don't think you got enough tape for this podcast, brother Dean. So you know, we'll be talking.
Man, like
I said, I just worked for George because when Prince came off the stage on his birthday, he only played one place on his birthday. That was Detroit. And George was standing right on the side of the stage. He said, "Me and Greg, these niggas used to work for me." I just started laughing. We hugged and stuff. And, you know, George was a genius, man.
Yeah.
George was like the funk, for real.
Mm. Man, so you've been around like the top tier talent of the game, like this black excellence right now, man. Like,
yeah, I mean the Jacksons. We worked with the Jacksons.
Really?
You know, my man Leonard Rowe had the tour. We had the Jacksons. You know, Michael and the brothers got back together. You know, like I said, man, it was just a beautiful thing. I mean, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. You know, You know, everything is. God is good, you know.
Man, that's amazing. And then you working with Prince, and I think you said, I don't know if you said on this show, but I heard you say, you know, he was a modern day Mozart. Did you, when you first started?
Oh yeah, he was Mozart.
When you first started working with him, did you see like there was something special about this cat? You know, early on.
Right away when he was on American Bandstand.
Okay.
When he did the first album, that For You album.
And you saying that after already being around some of the best who have ever done it, right? Like that.
I knew, you know, everybody. Well, you know, each artist is like a painting. Everybody paints different.
Okay.
You know, that's how I look at artists, like a painting. They tell a different story. And Prince had told a different story. You know, he produced, arranged, composed. He did everything.
Right.
And, you know, he did it all, Brother Dean. He did it all. And to all my listeners out there that's on Brother Dean podcast, shout out to Miss Lisa Davis over in New York, my sister, Tanya Giddens, Jill Monroe, J.B. Jerome Benton,
yes.
L.A. finest, yes.
Yeah, let's speak on that. What was the lady, Lisa, what's her name?
Lisa Davis.
I think
she follows you on podcast.
That's why I was going to make sure I give her a shout out.
That's my.
Okay.
That's my. Are we gonna do shout outs?
Well, I want to make sure we shout her out because I like to keep it 100. Like when I first, I wanted to people how this came about. So I hit you up on Facebook, and I was like, hey man, you know, they're trying to invite you to the show, and you was like, hey, that's cool. I'm busy. You know. Brother, I don't know what I'm doing the next day. That's what's crazy. But then you hit me.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And then you hit me back though. You was like, "Hey man, call this number." But then you said, "Hey, I talked to some of my peoples."
Yeah, Lisa Davis. That's right, okay. Miss Lisa, my girl in New York, Lisa Davis.
Yes.
Shout out to Lisa Davis. That's right. She stamped your podcast.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, speaking of podcasts, I'm about to launch my podcast.
That's what we're talking about, man. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm with Brother Dean. You know, everything is in divine order, Brother Dean.
Yes, sir.
Everything is in divine order. You know, but God don't make no mistakes. And I told Jerome, I said, you know, it wasn't by no mistake we was with Prince. I know it wasn't for me because that wasn't my first rodeo. That horse been rode, that cowboy been thrown. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Right.
You know, like Bodini Brown, the Prince. You know, like I told him, I said it was only two great. One was Ali, then it was Wally. You know, he was like, this guy here, man, he didn't know what to do with me, man. He didn't know what to do. Too much.
Let me ask you
that, brother, man.
Let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, how does the transition from being, I guess, his assistant and working in the camp to actually being on the stage? Like, do you remember that conversation when he came to y'all about that?
Yes, sir. I mean, you know, that I was just going with the flow. Hey, you know, I'm the utility man. However the flow go. That's why I said I'm rolling. If he want to put it down, I'm ready.
Were you like apprehensive at all? Like, yo, because man, he's like,
no, sir.
Oh no, okay.
No, sir. Because people used to always tease me, did you look at his eyes? I said, what you mean I looked at his eyes? I looked in his eyes all the time. But, I guess he had them hypnotized eyes, them green cat eyes. It used to scare people. He used to well, he's the devil. I said, y'all all got a little devilishment in you. They was like, y'all, you didn't look in his eyes. I mean, even Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy, them talked about that. You looked in his eyes. No, but like I said, that brother, that was my man, like $100 grand. And it still seems like it's like a dream. I ain't woke out of it yet with the death of him. It's like a dream.
Yeah,
still like a dream.
Yeah, man.
So, brother Dean, yeah, like I said, man. Like I said, God, is, true blessing. He don't bless everybody. Everybody can't handle blessing.
Right. Or some people blocking their stuff don't realize they got it.
Absolutely. They don't even know they blocking. That's what I'm saying. You block your blessing or just open the door and let the blessing flow.
Yeah. Let's see. So you guys, this is something that's just monumental to me because, you, Greg, and Jerome, you guys become a part of the revolution.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people sometimes miss that. But y'all was up there, and it changed. It was a different take on Princeton Revolution because you had the Purple Rain thing, and then when y'all came out with that hit and run in the parade show, that was a head buster, as I like to say, man. I mean, y'all had the suits. It was just a whole different vibe to it, man. Like it was
yeah, man. It was like, brother. Hey, like I said, that was a moment. That was a moment.
Do you remember like were you guys doing a lot of rehearsing? And obviously he always rehearsed and practiced and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, we rehearsed every day.
Okay.
Like going to work, like 9 to 5. We worked, rehearsed every day like going to work.
Man. What was...
Lunch break, back to work. Lunch break, back to work.
Really?
Yes, sir. But that was a fun job there because, the rehearsal never was a dull moment.
Mm. What was it like? What was the reception of the revolution when you guys joined? Because then not only you guys came, started to be more. It was you had Eric Leeds and different stuff. And what was it? How was it like working with your musicians and all that? Were they welcomed you guys in?
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing different stories. Everybody got their own story. I heard that they didn't want us in the group. Mm. They didn't appreciate us being in the group, and like I said, I wasn't angry about it, and I'm just finding out about this like new news to me too. I said, wow. I'm like, really? I said, I couldn't tell. But like I said, people just gossiping, just rumors. But I didn't have a problem with the revolution. Mark, Wendy, Lisa, Bobby, Matt, Miko, Eric, Matt, Bliston. I didn't have a problem with them.
Okay. What was it like during the Under the Cherry Moon filming? Did you go overseas?
Yeah, I was over in the south of France for 2 months.
Oh man, talk about that. You got to talk about that, man. What was that like?
Oh man, it was like heaven. That song, the Ohio Players. Heaven must be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was it, brother. That was it for real. Over there in the French Riviera, over in Nice, south of France, over in Monte Carlo, brother. I mean, hey, you don't get no better than that.
that was some real niggas in Paris.
we was there first. With that ball so hard. Yeah, we was the real niggas in Paris for real. Yeah, we were.
And this is back. To me, this was the Prince heyday. This was. Prince, the biggest thing in the world.
You're not listening, Brother Dean. You ain't listening.
I'm listening.
I was at the peak. I was at the peak of his career, brother.
So
everything.
What was
beginning right up to 87, 88.
Exactly. Well, what was that like, man? Describe it, because y'all out there with Prince, man. Like it's either Michael Jackson or Prince. They're the top of the game, period. And y'all roll.
Well, I never compared the two. I knew it was a difference.
Well, for sure.
Well,
for sure.
Prince produced everything.
Right.
You know, he did it all. You know.
Oh yeah, now they both kings.
I never compare. I like Michael too, but I never compared them two.
Okay.
Even though, and see, everybody looking at that from that perspective is that them two at the top of the game right now, top of the chain of the game.
Right.
And I got it because that's the media. That's what they do, the hype. You know, I got it. And see, like I said, you know, working with Prince, I didn't look at Prince like everybody else looked at Prince.
Okay.
I looked at Prince as a normal person. I let him be normal around me. You know, he could talk to me about whatever. Because when he's talking to me, he wasn't talking to the media or the press.
Now, he wasn't talking to y'all in, like, riddles and stuff like he'd be doing in the press. Like, you know, saying stuff that sound crazy. Like, huh, what did he say? Like, y'all was just, like, real conversations.
Yeah. Real conversation. Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of brother was Prince, man? Like, because, again, I'm just set this up.
That brother was deep.
I'm on the outside, and sometimes it seemed like, it was like, man, is he like funny style, or is he like a real dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or do you have all these stipulations? I mean, you can't speak to him, or I mean, how was it for real though with y'all?
With stipulations for who?
Well, I mean,
I can't speak to him. Oh no, you on the outside looking in? Exactly. Oh yeah, well, yeah, you know that was what you saw, what you got. You know, ain't no question. You know, what you see, what you get. You know, Prince, like I said, that brother was different. That brother was deep, and he didn't need much sleep. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
His brother was deep. You know, and he was a true musician. You know, and Sheila too. Sheila was so comparable and compatible to him as well. You know, as far as musically, because you know she was already established.
Yeah.
I remember I met Sheila in Berkeley, okay. And she was that's a beautiful sister, spirit and everything.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot
once again family.
There was a lot of beautiful women around that brother.
Oh well, you know, Prince was definitely a womanizer. Now, make no mistake, he was a real Rudolph Valentino. He was the real Rudolph.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Now, so I would assume. Okay, stay on focus a little bit. So y'all over there in France,
in south of France, in Nice, Monte Carlo. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Was it like so? Well, I know that was a movie and stuff, but can you tell me, like, was there some real adventures that you could share over there? That y'all
there was a lot of adventures. We shoot at 2-3 in the morning, shooting that video, mountains. You know, that's man, that was like wow. You know, I mean that whole movie set was beautiful, man. It was like, you know, we go to the clubs and stuff, hang out with Prince and Stephanie, you know, okay. and Monte Carlo, hang out at the clubs.
Now, were you single or married at this time? What was your status back then?
I don't even know. I don't remember what I was. I can't remember. But I was on a high, brother. I was on a Prince high. You know, I'm like, hey, I was like Marvin Gaye, take me high to the sky. You know, I was gone.
You was gone, huh?
Yeah, I was gone and gone. Yeah, I was married.
Oh, you were?
Yes, okay. I was married. Yes.
Okay.
My beautiful daughter, my oldest daughter, Stacia.
Oh, there you go.
Was born.
Okay.
Yeah, brother. So, yeah, like I said, my girl Lisa Davis said, "Yeah, brother, you should do that podcast with my man." I said, "Okay, sis, I will." Okay. Yeah.
Well,
so what else is going on, Brother Dean?
Man, we just talking. I was listening to some Prince music. I don't know how much you stay up on.
What you listening to, Brother Dean? What's your playlist looking like? What's your playlist looking like?
My real playlist versus my Prince list. So they just, you know, they always be leaking his music and stuff. And so there's been some new songs that just came out last night. And one of them I was bumping. Actually, you probably remember this song. It was called The Ball.
Yeah.
That's a cut right there, man.
Yeah.
So that one was real crystal clear. Girl of My Dreams.
Yeah.
We Can Funk or We Can Fuck, whatever.
Yeah, that was We Can Fuck. That was original. Yes.
Yeah, that was.
You know, he just changed Weekend Funk for George on the Graffiti Bridge.
Right. Yep. Shoot, I have to pull him up, but
man, he like I said, he was constantly in the studio, man. Like I said, I come out the studio, I told him I had to search him for some hits, man. He's just like a well-oiled machine, man. He was just like, hey, I've been there before, you know, like deja vu. I've been in that position before, so it was like, bam.
Some of the songs from Sheila's first album, but they're the versions of Prince singing the songs. So that's always a trip to hear.
Dear Michelangelo?
Dear Michelangelo, yep.
Yeah.
Glamorous Life, but with Prince singing it.
Yep. Yep.
Then another,
you know, he produced it. You know, hey.
Let me ask you this: so, like back in those days when you would just hear him doing these songs, will you be tripping in the studio like, damn, this shit is good, like?
No, because he valued my ear.
Okay.
No, I wasn't tripping. I was never tripping. I was never on the trip like that.
Wow.
I'll be focused, zoomed in on his music.
Okay. What do you remember a particular song that just any song that you remember from any reason, like that you were there when he was making it and you're like, and it became a hit or something like that? Do you remember? Can you remember any song like that?
Yeah. It was a whole bunch of songs. You know, when he did the Around the World in a Day album. Okay. When him and Sheila and Eddie M put the track down on that song Temptation and Condition of the Heart.
Oh, wow.
You know, that song kind of had me crying for free.
Oh, for real?
You know, that song had just broke me down. Yeah, it just broke me down. The day that he died, you know, when I was, because, you know, the day that he died, I took off of work. And my supervisor said, "What's wrong? You sick?" I said, "I'm not sick, but I got a messed up feeling, you know, kind of sick feeling, you know." And like I said, and I came home. A friend of mine called me. I said, "Hey, Wally, yeah, Prince dead. Call him." I'm like, "What?" Like, Negro, please get off my phone with that craziness. And then somebody else called and told me. And I kind of set up and cut the TV on. I said, "Well, if he is, let me cut on CNN." Mm-hmm. I know they know. And sure enough, they was posted in front of Paisley Park. And I remember the exact words, you know, a person has been discovered unresponsive in Paisley Park. They didn't say the elevator at that time. You know, a person was unresponsive. You know, I'm like, and they said the elevator. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, man, that's him. You know. Because, you know, like I said, the most memorable moment with him in the studio out of all of that was with Around the World a Day when that song Paisley Park. I didn't know that was going to become a reality.
Okay.
And then I saw him, and he showed me the layout of the building, you know, the little model, the replica, the little model of the place. Right. You know, they brought it to on his tour bus on the board. You know, I'm like, wow. I said, man, that looked like some over in the Saudi Arabia. So that looked like a harem, a palace or something, man. You know, so we know he showed it. You know, like I'm like, wow, it was truly amazing. That place was truly amazing. Now, have you been in there?
I have, yeah. I
haven't been back. I haven't been back in there, so I know a few things have changed. And I really don't want to go back in there because I just want to remember him just the way he was.
Right. Man, that's...
You know, and like I said, man, you know... Go ahead, brother.
Well, no, I was just going to say, that's crazy that you felt something at work before you even knew what was going on.
No, brother. Let me explain. That wasn't crazy.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said, Prince's relationship with everybody was different. Me and Prince had a spiritual connection.
Okay.
You know, like I said, when I was with him, I used to have the same dream he would have. And he would look at me funny. I'm like, what? And I would ask him the question, and he was like, and he just look at me. I'm like, well, yeah, I did. I dreamt that last night, you know. And he said, so did I.
Man, talk to me a little bit about Mr. John Nelson. Johnny O. Nelson, man.
Oh, his father?
Yeah.
John M. Me and him was cool. That was my man. That was my guy. You know, he was like, hey, he write those songs. You know, he did the song from Batman.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
How do you remember that came about?
You know, normal routine day. Wake up in the morning, coffee, and you know, sitting around chatting in the sunroom on the piano, and you know, he was just playing. Mr. Nelson was sitting there playing a tune with his purple boots on. PJs, he was sitting up there playing some tunes. I said, Mr. Nelson, what's that? He said, yeah, Wally's one of my tunes. And he just played it like, yeah, girl, you scandalous, but you look simply marvelous. and that's thing. I know Prince wasn't up yet, and he walked, and like, wow, it was like that was it. That was next. I had no idea that was going to be one of the songs on that soundtrack.
Wow, yeah, that's a great song too, man. It's a classic.
Yes, sir.
All I was to ask you, and we had talked about this off air, but there's that movie, kind of like that mini movie, The Hard Life, with you you and Greg. How did that come about, man?
I have no idea, brother. Like I said, you know, when you around Prince, you be on another planet. And shit, next thing I know, we was doing rehearsal. Next thing I know, he took some days off, and then I know he had a film crew up at the warehouse. Before that was the place before he moved into Paisley Park. Mm-hmm. You know, and see, I don't remember reading no script. Everything was ad-lib. You know, I don't remember reading no script. You know, it was just go with the flow, and that's how he was, man. It was just magical, man. It was just truly magical. You know, it's just a true blessing, man, just to know someone like him. Mm-hmm. Some people fantasize to meet him, you know, but I'm with this guy like 24/7, you know. It's like, you know, hey, bam, you know, so I'm listening to all the craziness coming out, you know, and people saying different stuff, but they really didn't know the man. They didn't know Prince like that.
Why do you think Prince was a real private cat like that? For the mystique, the mystery. Okay. And so you guys did. I'm gonna go back to Hard Life real quick. It looks like, man, y'all just must have been rolling. I mean, like laughing because.
Yes, we were.
When I look at it, man, it's just nothing but jokes. Y'all just clowning and stuff like.
Right. That's what we did. That's right. That's right. That's what you saw. What you got. You know, like I said, I didn't even know that I don't even know how that got. I'm sure he probably leaked that out. That Hard Life, you know, but like I said, I looked up my kids come showing it to me on YouTube. You know, I'm not that savvy with the internet and all that social media stuff. I ain't really. You know, some people be on Facebook telling me something. He don't even talk. But like I said, Dean, it ain't that I don't talk. I be working, brother. You know, hey,
I hear that.
You know, I'm out in the field picking cotton. Shit. I'm out there, you know, Hebrew slave, Hebrew slave making brick out of straw.
Well, listen. Another thing I wanted to ask you about going back in the days. What do you remember about the Black Album, man? That was another one of those big things that.
No, that's funny. That's because when we were in rehearsal, he had so many albums coming out. I couldn't remember which was which. You know, he had the Black Album, Crystal Ball. I mean, it was a lot going on, man. I was like, Jesus. I'm like, you know, I'd be like, you know, I got that sometimes. I remember some of the stuff, some of it I don't. You know, I got sometimes. You know, they say all timer. I got sometimes. Sometimes I remember the shit. Sometimes I don't. I just had the dates confused. You know, I was like my man Forrest Gump, box of chocolates. I could remember everything. I'm like, yeah. And then my friend Mitch, who was Prince's driver, would always reiterate stories to me. I said, oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Sometimers.
Yeah, sometimes disease. I ain't got Alzheimer's. I got sometimes. Sometime I can remember shit. Sometime I can't.
I could see where a lot of the humor comes from back then, because the stuff you just
I kept him in stitches, and vice versa. I was like, man, unbelievable.
What do you remember? And I'm mad at y'all that I never really got to see this in person. The Sign of Times tour, man. Like, I didn't really bring that to America as you should have.
I have no idea. Like I said, Prince, spur of the moment, he scrapped it over in Europe.
Right.
He left it over there. I'm like, okay, not a problem. He scrapped it. I guess he's making moves. I guess he was making moves.
For sure. I imagine there was a lot of work, though, put into that, getting that show together and stuff with you guys, right?
Oh, yeah, it was a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh, man, a whole lot.
And then you guys did the movie and stuff?
Yeah, the Sign of Time movie, right.
Yeah.
That was shot around on the tour, and then the rest of it was done at Paisley Park, on the sound stage.
Mm. Yeah, man, I remember when that came out. Oh, man, Kat, you couldn't tell me nothing. She was bad as hell, but I don't know how y'all work together with all these women, but...
Well, I see pretty faces in different places, brother. I don't get my honey where I get my money, so... It was an easy fix for me,
I hear that.
What look good to you might not be good for you, so...
I'll leave that alone.
That was Greg's woman. I'm just a bartender. Okay, I'm just a bartender. Last call for alcohol. You ain't got to go home, but you got to leave here.
What would y'all say? 40 squares, something. I'm trying to remember.
Pretty fair for a square. That's right.
There you go.
Because all those sayings all them came from me out the top of my head. It was the bar scene, all of that. That was just ad lib. All of that. I just threw that in the show. He just let it flow.
Wow. Man, and so you're a historian of music. Man, can you talk to us, like, what do you see Prince's place in music, particularly coming from everything that you had seen personally, being around these iconic groups? How do you see Prince?
It'll be timeless classics, like Earth, Wind, and Fire songs.
Mm-hmm.
You have the great ones. You have some songs that's timeless classics. Looking back, for example, this guy Lenny Welch, "Since I Fell for You," that's a timeless classic.
Okay.
Etta James, "At Last." Them are timeless classics. There'll be, but he has so much music though. So, which was your favorite album, Dean?
That's a tough one.
What was your favorite song? Your playlist. What would your playlist look like?
My playlist would look like Ballad of Dorothy Parker. Anastasia.
Talk to me.
If I Was Your Girlfriend. My Love Is Forever.
Forever in My Life.
Forever in My Life. Also, I Don't Wanna Leave You. I Don't Wanna Go. That was a Time joint. But I'm heavy into that.
Oh yeah.
Just
right.
It's so much, but those are my years. That pretty much from the first album to '88 that's my. I was young when that came out. I lived that music in terms of listening to it.
My favorite, and I have so many Prince favorite songs, but that album, the Emancipation album,
that's a cold album.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. What's interesting?
That brother.
Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but it's your show. I'm just a guest.
They here to hear you, bro. They here to hear you. Trust me.
I'm talking to my sister Lisa Davis. That's what I'm talking to. Miss LD in the house. New York's finest. Brooklyn's in the house. You see, and Miss Tanya Giddens. Jill Monroe.
Jill Monroe. All right, yeah. But Emancipation. I was going to say it's one of those albums. Some of the young cats that I work with, they're not really Prince fans. But that album right there, I brought that in to work and we play that. That's the one they be like, who is this? That's really their introduction to Prince, and they love that. Like, they want to take it home and borrow it. And
somebody.
Yeah, that's
it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's the cut.
Somebody.
Yeah.
You know, that album, all of that, you know, Holy River, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Have a Baby, One Kiss at a Time, you know. He had countless. Because, you know, Prince was setting the trend in the music industry, you know.
For sure.
You know, 3 CD release, you know, that was like crazy then.
Mm-hmm. Independent. Well, no, he put that out with the other EMI. EMI.
EMI?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I didn't know. I know he was just welling them out.
Oh yeah. He what's some of your favorite albums then? What's the ones you like?
All the way from the first album up to, like I said, the Hit and Runs.
Mm-hmm.
I like this movie. I never saw that movie.
You
I just saw bits and pieces of it.
You cut out there when you said something. You like what now?
I said Graffiti Bridge, the movie.
Oh, okay.
I never actually ever saw that.
Really?
No, I saw bits and pieces of some of the videos. You know, I never really saw that movie. Tell you what the movie was about. Like I said, I saw, you know, bits and pieces of it.
It's a different movie. It's a different kind of movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yes.
All right. Now, did you ever go to any of his concerts after you stopped working with him?
Yeah, I was still working with him. I was on Jam of the Year. I was on the Emancipation, all of that.
Oh, I did not say that.
Love for One Another. See, a lot of people don't know that, brother.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know a lot of things.
Right. Wow.
You
so
know, I was on a tour, but I wasn't on a tour. I was on a tour, but I wasn't on a tour.
I got it.
I was like 3 days ahead of the tour, 2 or 3 days ahead.
Okay. So you was kind of setting up in different things, right?
Doing stuff with my brother-in-law, Billy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Man, that's so funny. That's another cat I want to talk to. I remember when the Love Sexy tour came to Seattle. I live in Seattle. And I remember seeing Billy walking through the crowd. And I ain't know the brother from Adam, but I just knew him from the movie Purple Rain. I was like, Billy! I know he's looking around like, who the fuck is calling my name?
That's a normal response, right?
Right, but I was excited. I was like, that's Billy Sparks, man. Don't you know this?
Yeah,
I was like, it's a business. Yeah, I was like, I ain't too far gone, Billy. I know it's a business.
That's right. So ain't nobody digging your music, nobody but yourself. Tell me I'm wrong. Just like your old man.
Yeah. Yeah, Billy was cold in that movie, boy. That's right. Yes, sir. Like I said, I owe it all to him, though. I owe everything to him, because without him, I would have never been where I'm at now. Okay. And Billy's still kicking, doing his thing, right?
Yeah, he's still doing stuff. You know, he's on the hit and run. Hell, I don't know. I think he's over in Sheboygan, Nova Scotia, somewhere. Shit,
oh, wow. Okay.
Ain't no telling. He might be over in Anchorage
with the Eskimos.
Yes, sir.
Man, well, let me ask you this then, since we talked about some Prince stuff, but what's like on your other playlist? What's the stuff that? Because I know you said you was DJing the other day. Like, what kind of music when you sit down to listen to some your own? You know, I have a
smorgasbord, brother. I go from R&B. You know, now my group was the Dramatics and the Dells. You know, that's when music was music. You know, not take nothing from hip hop and rap, you know, but that's when music was music. You know, that's what I was raised up on. You know, the Dells, The Love We Have Stays on My Mind. Dramatics, Just Shopping, Not Buying Anything. Because, you know, that, you know, as a kid, I snuck on Ron Banks' tour bus and went up to Saginaw and Flint. My mother didn't know I was out the house.
Wow.
On the bus with my man Gus, brother named Garmel. You know, we was on the bus. It was a party bus. You know, hey.
How old were you?
We was riding. I think I was 15.
Wow, you out there wilding, son.
I wasn't wilding. I was just hanging out.
Okay.
Like wet clothes were gonna never dry, brother. Everybody loved the sunshine. You know, I was like Roy Ayers, all of that. We on those tours. All of that. Roy Ayers, the Doctor.
Damn.
You know, jazz. You know, I listened to a lot of jazz lately.
Okay.
You know, little Jimmy Scott.
I gotta Google that. I'm not up on.
Familiar with him?
No, I'm not. I gotta get.
Yeah, little Jimmy Scott. Well, he had this guy had a golden voice. You know, around the time Nat King Cole, all of them, they were
Okay.
You know, they were the top of the chart, and you know, little Jimmy Scott never got his recognition, his just due. Mm-hmm. But you know, who sound just like him, Nancy Wilson.
Oh, really?
Because if you listen to little Jimmy Scott, it's the way he tells the story of the song. In the same way with Nancy Wilson, you know, because, you know, like I said, brother, we can sit and talk about music till tomorrow. You know, I can sit and about music. You know, like I said, I have a wild playlist, you know. I might be listening to some jazz and R&B. Next thing I know, I'm listening to The Doors, Jim Morrison.
Oh,
People
wow.
Are Strange.
Okay. Yeah, eclectic taste.
You know, because this cable guy came and put dish in my house, and he was standing looking at my music for about an hour. I'm like, what is he doing? He was like, sir, can I ask you something? I'm like, what's that? He said, I noticed your music collection. You have a wide genre of music. I said, yeah. Genre. He said, wow, I see U2, Rattle and Hum. I see Led Zeppelin, House of the Holies. I see Jefferson Starship.
Wow. Now, do you have vinyl?
No, sir.
Oh,
I got that all. It's on my computer.
Oh, okay.
Well, I you know, CDs are my new LPs.
Gotcha. I got
you. You know, I do have some vinyl though. You know, then you know, one day, Brother Dean, I might just turn around and just be strictly into house music. You know, that's my other love, house music. So that's what I did yesterday. I played some R&B, Little Dale's Dramatic, and I threw some house music up in there, some Kim. Not the rapper Kim, the singer Kim.
Right. Okay.
Not Lil Kim, just Kim.
That's there. K-E-M.
Yeah, that's right, K-E-M. That's right. And then, you know, don't get me wrong, I like Lil Kim. You know, I like Lil Kim. I got some Lil Kim music.
Okay.
But, you know, like I said, I listen to EWF.
Okay.
You know, EWF. Then I got Prince's playlist. You know, but that'll be a later date.
Yeah. Talk to me about because you said you was on the road with Jazz Crusaders, like
man,
Joe Sample.
You talking about Larry Carlton, Joe Sample, Stix Hooper, Wilton Felton, Wayne Henderson, Larry Carlton, brother. You know them and War, Lonnie Jordan. The World is a Ghetto.
Yeah.
Brother, like I said, I'm R&B. I'm real black. I was all in. The World is a Ghetto, you know? The Cisco Kid, Low Rider, all of that. Galaxy, out of sight. It's gone. They said it's gone, baby. It's gone.
Yeah, man. The Crusaders, man. I got onto them late, but once I heard their stuff, I had to go back and get up on all of that. I still listen to that today.
Yeah, the Weather Report. Joseph Darwin, all them.
Yeah.
Jocko Foster, you know, the Weather Report. Wayne Shorter, you know that.
Oh,
you know, brother. I'm like,
let me ask, since we're on jazz, real quick, just to jump back into Prince for a second. What did you think about Madhouse when he was doing that?
That was the shiznick. That was the shiznick. Yes, sir. That was the damn joint. I was right at home on that. I'm like, yes, sir. Come on, Prince. Come on with it. Yeah, Eric Lee, Levi Seaside Jr., Dale, and who else was that? And Dr. Singh.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, dun, dun. Oh man, he was killing them.
Yeah, he was, man.
Killing them.
It's just so amazing that cat could go from, you know, doing pop stuff, R&B, all that stuff, and then come out with that. You know,
man, a lot of people wasn't even up on Madhouse either.
Right.
I was telling people about Madhouse. He's like, who? I said, never mind. Never mind.
Wow. Man, yeah, because we could be talking all day, and we will save.
That's what I'm saying. Baby got to eat. Baby got to eat.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, listen,
Baby got.
Man, so this is the start of something great.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying, Dean. We didn't meet by accident.
Right.
You know, I don't meet people by accident or I was lucky. I don't use that word lucky. Everything is by fate and divine order, brother.
A divine order. Okay. I'm with that. Well, man, thank you for your time again. All the listeners, I'm going to tell you right now, Wally, they're going to hit you up on Facebook. So, you know, I'm just telling them.
That's, I got love for them.
Okay.
And I'm going to shout out to my girl, Lisa Davis, one more time.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Lisa
Davis. Making this all possible.
Yeah, and I gotta holler at her, man. Thank you so much, Lisa. Because
yeah, reach out and touch my sister. That's right.
All right. All my listeners, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please hit up Wally and just say thank you to him. Just say thank you. We appreciate you and value you. And we're going to keep watching and supporting. And to all my Patreon listeners out there, thank you for your continued support and making this show possible. As I always do, work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace, brother. Peace.